Good morning. This morning I am at St George's Church in Ramsgate, and I'm here to visit the resting place of a much loved actor, John Le Mesurier. Right, it's been a bit of a drive this morning to get here. I didn't think I was going to make it at one point. The car mucked about a little bit. But yeah, John Le Mesurier. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Obviously everyone will probably know him for this.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run?
But there's a lot more to him than that. He did a hell of a lot. When I was doing my research on him, I was actually quite surprised on how much he's actually done. But look at this church. Look at this church behind me. So I can get a proper shot of it. There we go. Look at that. That's enormous. That is an enormous church, and yet it's got such a very small churchyard. But what we'll do is we'll have a little wander around the cemetery, as per usual, while I tell you a little bit about John Le Mesurier. John Le Mesurier, born 5th of April 1912 from Bedford, was an English actor. He is perhaps best known for his comedic role as Sergeant Arthur Wilson in the BBC television sitcom Dad's Army.
Poor Colonel Montmorency thought, considering all the wars he'd fought, the Home Guard was his job to do or die.
From 1968 to 1977. A self-confessed jobbing actor, he appeared in more than 120 films across a range of genres, normally in smaller supporting roles. He became interested in the stage as a young adult and enrolled at the Fay Compton Studio of Dramatic Art in 1933. From there he took a position in repertory theatre and made his stage debut in September 1934 at the Palladium Theatre in Edinburgh in the J.B. Priestley play Dangerous Corner. He took on several more roles until the Second World War, where he was posted to British India as a captain with the Royal Tank Regiment. Following the war, he returned to acting and made his film debut in 1948, starring in the second feature Death in the Hand, opposite Esme Pierce and Ernest J. He had a prolific film career, appearing mostly in comedies, usually in roles portraying figures of authority, such as army officers, policemen and judges. As well as Hancock's Half Hour, he appeared in Tony Hancock's two principal films, The Rebel and The Punch and Judy Man. In 1971, he received his only award, a British Academy of Film and Television Arts Best Television Actor Award, for his lead performance in Dennis Potter's television play Traitor. It was one of his few lead roles. In 1940, he married producer June Melville before leaving for the war, but on his return had found that she had become an alcoholic, which ended in the pair divorcing in 1949. In June 1947, he went with fellow actor Geoffrey Hibbert to the Players Theatre in London, where among the performers was Hattie Jacques. The two began to see each other regularly. In 1949, when his divorce came through, Jacques proposed to him, saying, "Don't you think it's about time we got married?" The couple married in 1949 and had two sons, Robin and Kim. In 1962, Jake started an affair with driver John Schofield, and she eventually moved him into the family home. Le Mesurier moved into a separate room and tried to repair the marriage. The affair caused a downturn in his health, and he collapsed while on holiday in Tangier. He returned to London to find the situation unchanged, which caused a relapse. During the final stages of his marriage, he met Joan Malin in 1963. The following year, he moved out of his marital home, and that day proposed to Joan, who accepted his offer. They married in 1966 after he and Jake's were divorced. A few months after they were married, Joan started a relationship with Tony Hancock and left Mesurier to live with the comedian. After a year with Hancock and the violence toward her worsening, she returned to her husband. Towards the end of his life, he wrote his autobiography, A Jobbing Actor. The book was published in 1984 after his death. His health visibly declined from July 1983 when he was hospitalised for a short time after suffering a hemorrhage. When the condition recurred later in the year, he was taken to Ramsgate Hospital. After saying to his wife, "It's all been rather lovely," he slipped into a coma and died on 15th of November 1983, aged 71. His remains were cremated and the ashes buried at Church of St George the Martyr, Ramsgate. Right, John Le Mesurier. I know he was in Dad's army, but I didn't realise he'd been in that many films. I know there were only bit parts. There weren't leads. I thought he should have earned a lot more than just one accolade for all his hard work. Today we're not looking for a full burial, we're looking at a plate, a cremation where his ashes were interred. And I know where it is because I'd wander around here. But for such an enormous church like this one behind me, you'd think it'd have a much bigger churchyard. But I suppose we're literally right on the town centre here of Ramsgate. It's literally a 2-minute walk and I'm on the high street. But I know where his plate is, so let's go and have a look. Right, I wasn't the biggest fan of Dad's army. I'll be the first to admit that. But this is where he is, and there he is. John Le Mesurier, much loved actor, 1912 to 1983, resting. Also Kim Jake Le Mesurier, 1956 to 1991, siempre, which I think means forever, if my memory serves me correctly. But there you have it. It's the final resting place of John Le Mesurier, or Le Mesurier. I remember Unusual Things did this one, and I'd totally forgotten about this, but just behind me, right here, there, you see the 2 chairs, they're still there. And I've also noticed in this churchyard that they've got a bit of a homeless issue, because as I was walking around I did notice there was a tent and a few belongings in the corner of the churchyard over there. But yes, John Le Mesurier, very good actor. I have seen him in a few things. As I said before, I'm not really the biggest fan of Dad's Army, so I didn't really see him that much in that. I do remember one particular episode which I watched and I thoroughly enjoyed, but the rest of them, not really. But anyway, that is it for now. That is it from St George's Church in Ramsgate. Thank you very much, John Le Mesurier, and I will see you on the next one, wherever that is. So please, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing. It's absolutely free. All you got to do is hit the button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you'll know of any future videos that are coming up. So as I said, I will see you on the next one, wherever that is. So bye bye for now.